So I'd like to see an example of what it looks like to use Bundler with Sass. So I'm going to do a quick search for Bundler Sass, and there's some examples here, but I'm going to click on the At and Design Group one. This is a good article that talks about some of the details of using Bundler, and you can get here by going to atanddesigngroup.com/blog/managing compass extensions bundler. And this is written by my friend John Ferris, who I have to thank for teaching me a lot about front-end development. What we're going to do here is search for an example Gemfile. So I'm going to do a browser search for Gemfile, and that brings us down to this Create a Gemfile heading here. And down here we see an example of a Sass-based project. So we have the same source here at rubygems.org, and then we have gem Sass, and then a version is specified, gem Sass globbing, which we're also using, and then so far we haven't used any other ones, so we would be stopping right here. So let's copy these two lines, and I'm going to come over to my editor, and I'll replace this commented outline with those two. And now before we do anything with this, we want to make sure that the Sass version here is aligned with what we actually have right now, so we don't end up using an older version. Again, we can figure out what Sass version we're using by going to the terminal and typing in Sass-V. And so we're on 3.4.13. So we'll jump back to our editor and let's change this to 3.4.13. Again, this is the major, minor, and patch version of the library. Now, back when we were using Bower, in order to install the normalize.css package, we were a little bit more general about the normalize.css version that we were going to use. Instead of specifying a patch version, we actually omitted that, and we used an asterisk to indicate that we would use any minor version as well. Now, the reason why some front-end developers are going to be far more specific with Sass and the extensions is because there could be numerous people working on a project, and you want to make sure that the same versions are being used in each development environment to avoid any potential conflicts or issues. Now, it feels like it could be safe using an asterisk for the patch, at least, but for now, we're going to be specific, and we'll specify it as version 3.4.13. Now, for Sass globbing, which is the one extension that we're using right now, I'm going to jump back to the terminal. And now to check the version of the Sass extension, most Sass extensions aren't going to have a command line utility directly, but we can type gem list, and it will show us all of our local gems as well as the versions that we're using. So we have Sass globbing here, and it's version 1.1.1. So I'll go back to our editor, and the version that was in John's post says anything bigger than or equal to version 1.1.0, and our 1.1.1 will fit that, but it also means that if a new version of Sass globbing gets released, that we'll be okay downloading that as well. So let's be more specific here, just to tighten it down. So we'll specify 1.1.1, and we'll save this. Now let's jump back to the browser and go back to the Bundler page. And now at this point, the Gemfile page that we're on goes into specific details about unique use cases, like if a gem's main file name is different than the gem name. So we know that we can come back here if we have more questions, but for now, I think we're good on the Gemfile front.